Welcome to a beautiful afternoon in Bakersfield, California, above the banks of the Kern River, where in the 1890s they noticed a black substance seeping on the banks of the Kern River. And it was around that time in the late 1890s that the Kern River Oil Field, right there, all behind me, was discovered. Since that time, over 2 billion barrels of oil have been produced from that one field behind me, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. In fact, there's over 100,000 wells that have been drilled in this field. It's one of the largest fields in the state of California. At just over 10,000 acres, tell me where you can find that kind of energy density packed into such a small area. And today we hear, California, if we increase oil production, it won't matter because it's a global market. Well, it will matter. And let me tell you why that is a flawed thought process. Number one, tax revenue. Oil and gas in Kern County contributes $200 million a year to property taxes. The solar industry, and by the way, Kern County produces 60 to 70% of the alternative energy for the state of California. Solar taxes are less than $2 million because they don't pay taxes, hardly nothing. So we have that. We increase production, we increase tax revenue to the state and to the local community, paying firefighters, teachers, public servants, people that are critical to these oil and gas communities. Number two, we offset pollution to our disadvantaged communities in the port areas of Long Beach and Los Angeles. These pumping units emit nothing. Crude tankers emit sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter that cause asthma and cancer in our disadvantaged communities. Now, the politicians in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. don't want to talk about the health impact of crude tankers and ships spewing pollution into our ports. Instead, they want to demonize cash flow and hardworking people. And that brings me to the third and most important point, which is jobs. The average field worker in the oil and gas sector in Kern County makes $125,000 a year working these fields. You see, with over 9,000 active wells, there's a lot of work to be done in these fields all the time. So we pay six figures to those that have been to prison, that need a second chance, that want to get back on their feet with their families. And you're telling me we should shut down an industry that puts food on the table for second chances? And oh, by the way, over 50% of the workforce is black and brown. How does that jive with this entire environmental justice movement? Are we being honest with people? Are we being honest with ourselves? We're a strong community. We're energy strong. And we're going to make it through this time, because fields like this behind me are the reason towns like Bakersfield even exist. And it is totally disrespectful, dishonest, and downright misleading to tell people that California, the state that consumes more oil than any others, can somehow do without it, and we'll just bring it in on boats like nothing's wrong, out of sight, out of mind. But it's killing our disadvantaged communities. Please spread this message, share it, and stay strong, Energy Strong Nation, because we will win this fight, and we will prove to the nation, to our state, that our local energy production and our local communities matter more than some left-wing, far-out regressive ideology. And I don't say that to be political, but that's what it is. And we need to come together and support one another and enjoy our beautiful surroundings and understand the history of them.